Good morning, everybody. This is A.K. Singh, PGT Chemistry from KV number 1 Riva. Students, I am here to take the topic coordination compounds. At least 3 marks questions are asked in the CBSE board examination. This chapter is important because these compounds are very much important. They have wide applications in various fields such as agriculture, medicine, various industries. Now, to start this topic, this chapter, we have to remind the previous chapter D block elements, because these compounds have wide application. They are formed by the D block elements, the transition elements, what we have studied in the previous class. So, this is the periodic table, and we are concerned mainly of this 3D series from scandium to zinc. As you have read earlier that these elements are transition elements, they have empty d orbitals. And while studying the properties of these elements there in that chapter, you have studied the magnetic behavior, you have studied the coloring properties, and also the capability to form complex compound called the coordinate compounds. For this, from scandium, you have to learn, you have to remember always the electronic configuration along with the atomic number up to this. These elements, they act as central metal atom or the ion in the coordinate compounds. Various species it is called as ligands. They get attached with these central metal atoms or ions. These ligands such as OH, NH3, Cl negative, Br negative. Now these ions, these species get attached with this through coordinate bonds and form coordinate compounds. To another slide. The orbital occupancy of D block you have studied in the previous chapter. Scandium 3d1, 4s2, and this one electron is the unpaired electron, and the remaining orbitals are vacant. Likewise, titanium, vanadium, chromium. Chromium, you know the exact half configuration. We get 35, 4s1, and just see the maximum number of unpaired electrons. It goes on Fe. There we have taken the example 4s2, 3d6, this 1, 2, 3, 4 unpaired electrons. Now during bonding, how it takes these group C and group get attached with the Fe through coordinate bond, that we will explain in the bonding portion. Another example of this copper configuration, fully filled d orbitals 4s1 and 3d10. So what you have to remember: atomic number, electronic configuration in the atomic and the ionic state. For example, configuration of Cu plus, Cu2 plus and Cu. This is Cu, the configuration is written Cu plus, this one electron will be removed out, becomes 0. For Cu2 plus, 2 electrons have to be removed, so one from this one and one from the d orbital. We will get 3d9 4s0. In that case, this Cu2 plus will have one unpaired electron, and that will make it different from Cu plus, because Cu plus will have all paired electrons. So let us move to the another slide. Pay attention here. This is one of the compound FeCN whole twice, ferrous cyanide, another compound, potassium cyanide. Now, if these two compounds in their aqueous states, in aqueous solution, they are mixed together in a crucible and then they are heated up to the evaporation, what we will get is K4FeCN6 residue, a compound called potassium ferrocyanide. We are heating these two compounds. So we are heating the two compounds. Means after the heating, we get the new product. The two get added together. So this is one of the addition compound. Another example, let us take potassium sulfate, aluminium sulfate, and it is heated in the presence of water. 24 molecules of water is heated up to the evaporation, and in this case we get a compound this. This compound is Pitcairn, potassium. And just see the difference. Potassium sulfate is here, aluminium sulfate is here, and also the 24 molecule of water is here. So this is another type of compound, and we name it as double salt. It is also addition compound. So addition compounds are coordinate compounds, could be double salts. There is a great difference between the two. Double salts. In your syllabus, you are going to perform the experiment on more salt. It is one of the example, another example of double salt. Like this Pitcairn, the potassium. So what is the difference between the two? Here, if this compound, potassium ferrocyanide, if it is dissolved in water, then you will get potassium ion and this complex. Now this complex will not give the test for the ferrous ion or the Ca negative. Will not get the test of this due to the complex formation. And that complex formation, the details I explain you later on. This is the central metal atom, the transition element. Said you earlier, these are vacant d orbitals where these groups get attached to coordinate bond to the central metal atom and form a complex compound which will not give the test of these. And that makes it different from that of double salt. The double salt, say this example, potassium, when we dissolve in water, then the various ions present in it will be split out in the solution, and it will give all the tests of these ions. Therefore, this makes double salt different from the coordinate. In this double salt, there is no coordinate bond formation. Here, there is a coordinate bond formation. So this makes it different. Now come to the topic again. Look at this figure. This red portion, this is the central metal atom what you have seen just now. It may be any transition element, the first series, and these 6 species or groups, they are called the ligands. They get attached with the central metal atom through the dative bond or the coordinate bond. So it is written dative or the coordinate bond. So go through the slide. Complex compounds, special class of compounds on which the metal atoms or ions are bound to a number of anions, neutral or molecules. Now these anions, neutral molecules, they are called the ligands, and this will be get attached to a central metal atom or ion. It may be Fe, it may be chromium, it may be zinc, anything. Now these compounds are also called coordination compounds. The coordination compounds complex are a type of addition compounds I have explained just now. That addition compounds are of 2 types. One is coordinate compound, another is a double salt. Coordinate compound will retain its identity in the solution, while double salt will split into the ions and they will give the test for the ions. So we'll move to the next slide. The difference between the double salt and coordinate compound I explained earlier. Just see what happens. One thing in the formation or the preparation of double salt will normally take the equimolar solution of the two compounds. As in that case, potassium sulfate and aluminum sulfate, the equimolar solution is mixed with water and evaporated to the heat, and that will get the Fitkiri or the potash alum. So, and that double salt will, they lose their identity in the dissolved solution, means they will give the test for ionize into potassium, aluminum and sulfate ion, whereas coordination compound will form the complex, just given that example K4FeCN6, where FeCN6 that form, that is a complex, will not give the test for Fe2 plus or the Cn negative. So they do not lose their identity in the dissolved state, but remains its identity in the solid states. So these are the example. One difference, one of the difference in double salt, the metal atom ion exhibits normal valencies. Like in the example given, aluminum Al3 plus, sulfate 2 negative. In this case, the coordination compound, the number negative ions of molecules surrounding the central metal atom is beyond its normal valencies. The specific details will be explained later on in the examples. This is the more salt, that is in your syllabus, more salt. There will be practical, and this is also example of double salt. Let us move to another slide. So the double salt and the coordination compounds I have already explained. Just see the slide. The double salt potash alum or the Fitkiri, when dissolved in water, will give the test for these ions, whereas in coordination compounds, look at here, potassium ferrocyanide. It is a general name, potassium ferrocyanide. The exact name of this compound in this chapter will be explained in the next topic, in the next class. Now this will give this one, FeCN6. So Fe2 plus test will not be given, Cn negative will not be given, because it is the formation of the complex. Coordination compounds, molecular compounds that retain their identity even when dissolved in water, means on dissolution in water this will not split up. So it is, let us move to the another slide. Again the coordination compound example, the figure, central metal atom ion and the different species called the ligands may be negative, neutral, anything. Now the different terms which are used in this coordinate complex, that will explain by taking one example. So this is one of the example of complex compound or coordinate compound K4FeCN6, potassium ferrocyanide, what you have just studied it. Now in a coordinate compound there are various parts. Let us see this part, the thing which is left to or the starting species of any compound, and this one is a positive species. Here we will put a bigger bracket here. So anything, any species which is present inside the bigger bracket, that comes in the coordination sphere. So this bracket to this bracket, this area is called the coordination sphere, where the complex is present, where the coordination complex is present, and beyond the bigger bracket, right side or left side. That is called the ionization sphere. Ionization sphere and the coordination sphere. Now, we will come to the coordination sphere. What are the substances or species present in it? One is this. It may be different. Maybe scandium, maybe copper, maybe nickel. This is one of the transition element and act as central metal atom. Central metal atom or the ion. Then comes this group. In this example, this group acts as negatively charged species called ligand. Ligand. And there are 6 ligands. 6 ligands, CN, they are get attached with the central metal atom Fe through coordinate bond. Therefore, it is the example of coordinate compound. Now, what is the place? Where is the place through which this CN get attached with the Fe? That is present in the vacant d orbitals and will be explained in details while teaching the chemical bonding, the bonding portion of this compound. So, this is complex compound. These are the terms ligands. In this example, we have taken CN. There are various types of ligands. I will explain it to you. There may be one type or more than one type of ligand can get attached with the central metal atom. Let us move specifically to the another slide. We will start the Werner's theory, the scientist who explained the formation of the complex compound. He performed various experiments, mainly this is the example, copper chloride, ammonia treated with silver nitrate and obtained the components. Now, main postulates of Werner's theory that the coordination compound contains 2 types of valencies. One is the primary valency. These are ionizable. Primary valencies are ionizable and correspond the number of charges of the complex ion. Let us see this example. COCl3 NH3, central metal ring cobalt and the 3 Cl shown by the dotted lines. These are the dotted lines. Now, these Cl are attached with the dotted, shown in as a dotted line, attached to the cobalt central metal atom represents the primary valency. The 6 NH3 group, they represent the secondary valency. Primary valency apply equally well to simple salts and to the complexes and are satisfied by the negative ions, Cl negative ions. Again, secondary valencies, they correspond to the valencies that a metal atom oriented towards neutral molecules or negative charge ion in the formation of complex ion. In this example, cobalt is attached with 6 NH3, the neutral ligands. Secondary valencies, this is important, secondary valencies are directional. So, the complex has a particular shape. Now, these are the postulates. The postulates, they are based on experimental evidence rather than the theoretical. But few drawbacks were there in the Werner's theory. doesn't explain why only certain elements form coordination compounds. It does not explain why the bonds in coordination compounds have directional properties, and could not explain the color and magnetic options or properties of the complexes. Let us move to another slide. This is the application of the oneness theory. Cobalt chloride 6NH3, as shown earlier in the example. This is treated with silver nitrate. In this example, we get the precipitate of 3 moles of silver chloride, 3 chloride ion. In another case, when the number of moles of silver nitrate varied, we get 2 chloride ion, 2 AgCl. In same example, we get 1 molecule of AgCl, 1 chloride ion. In this case, the last case, we do not get any chloride ion. So, on heating with HCl at particular temperature, cobalt amine does not evolve ammonia. So, primary valency of cobalt is 3 and secondary valency is 6. Through cobalt, there are 3 Cl linked with the primary valency and 6 NH3 group which are linked through secondary valencies. You can see this. Depending on this, the color is also different. This contains orange color having the formula this. Again, in this example, this is in the ionization sphere, the color changes, number of free chloride ion from 3 becomes 2, 1 and all that. So, with this change, the color also changes. Now, the components of coordination compound which I have explained just now on the board, let us see few more examples. This is one example, FeH2O6 3 plus. Now, this is the complex ion. So, this is in the bigger bracket, Fe is the central metal atom, these 6 H2O act as ligand. In this example, the bigger brackets is the coordination sphere, we get aluminium central metal atom and 6 ligand fluoride ion. Here the central coordination sphere containing central metal atoms cobalt and 6 ligand NH3. Just look at this example. Copper is the central metal atom, NH3 4 molecule 4 NH3 ligand, and also there are 2 H2O. So, in all the coordination number of cobalt will be 6. So, 6 neutral H2O, 4 NH3 neutral ligand, they get attached with the copper in this example. So, overall ligands, they act as electron donor, that is Lewis base, while the central metal atom ion, they accept the electron pair from the ligands, therefore, they act as Lewis acid. These are the complex signs in the shape. When the coordination number is 2, we have the shape linear in this shape. These are the few examples, CuCl2. So, 2Cl and the copper. When the coordination number is 4, the shape of the complex is square planar or tetrahedral. These are the few examples and this is the shape. And if the coordination number is 6, the shape will be octahedral. This is the shape, the examples. For octahedral, just see the coordination number should be 6. This is 6. Again 6, 6. Octahedral complex uses d orbitals, 2 d orbitals, that may be inner d orbitals like d2 sp3 or outer d orbitals like sp3 d2. ligands. The species, neutral or charged species which get attached to the central metal atom or ion. In this example, these are the, I have explained earlier also, Cn, the tag says ligand, negatively charged. It is coordinated to Fe2 plus. Now ligands can be negative or positive or the neutral ions. They act as Lewis base because they donate the electron and the central metal atom ion accept the electron. Types of ligands. Unidentate. Now you can see this is the donor site, oxygen in this example H2O. So when the ligand contains one donor site, that will be unidentate or monodentate ligand. These are the examples. This is the neutral one, charged one. Another is bidentate, when the ligand contains two donor site. Just see En stands for ethane 1,2-diamine or ethylene diamine. Oxalate ion 2 negative. Now these are the donor sites, two donor sites, bidentate ligand. Then comes, if the donor site is more than 2, then it is the polydentate ligand. We have diethylene triamine. We represent it as Di-N. Diethylene triamine. So 1, 2, 3. It has donor sites. Likewise, triphosphate ion 1, 2, 3. EDTA ion, ethylene diamine tetraacetate ion. Tetraacetate 1, 2, 3, 4. Tetraacetate ion. Similarly, EDTA 3 negative. This is 4 negative. It may be 3 negative. Ethylene diamine triacetate ion. So unidentate, polydentate, ambidentate. Ambidentate ligand, that is asked in the, this question was asked in the board exam. If the ligand has two or more donor site, complex is formed, only one donor atom is attached to the metal. Now just take the example NO2. Now in this example, this is a central metal atom and N is attached through N. This group ligand is attached through N. So it is N complex. Now if the same could be attached with O, that could be if M is attached through the O, then it will be the O complex. So ambidentate ligands. Monodentate or unidentate metal and the donor site of H2O. Another examples, polydentate ligands, oxalate, En. You can see this. Bi-trihexadentate ligand. Now another entity, that is coordination number, I have explained earlier. Let us see the number of ligand atoms bonded directly to the central metal atom. Now see the examples. CONH3 6. So 6 will be the coordination number. In this example, ammonia molecule, there are two ammonia molecules attached to the silver. The coordination number will be 2. So in this COEN3, En, ethylene diamine. This, the coordination number is 6. Why it is 6? Why it is 6? Because the because there are two donor sites. The ligand R3, it should be corrected. Three ligands. Geometry of the complexes related to coordination number. Now I have explained earlier, if the coordination number 2, then it is linear. If it is 4, then it is tetrahedral or square planar. If it is 6, then it is octahedral. And if it is 5, then trigonal bipyramidal or square pyramidal. This is the example of coordination number 5. Certain things, again the complex ion to represent the complex. This is the entities inside the coordination sphere, then the ionization sphere, central metal atom ion, coordination number and the ligand. So this represents the complex ion. And this is the oxidation number that is explained in class 11 how to calculate the oxidation number. Here for the nomenclature you have to calculate the oxidation number of each complex by assuming the charges on these ligands inside and the outside. Coordination number is different from the oxidation number. Homoleptic and heteroleptic. Homoleptic, just see, central metal atom and 1, 2, 3 ligand, all are same. All are same. That is homoleptic. Now this is different from these. Heteroleptic. Just see this, all are different, asymmetric. Charge number of the complex ion. The net charge carried by the complex ion, how to calculate it? Charge number of FeCN6 4 negative. In class 11th you have done this. Coordination polyhedron, the geometry, square planar, tetrahedral, trigonal bipyramidal, octahedral, square pyramidal. And the last, to calculate the effective atomic number by using this formula, En is equal to Z minus X plus Y, where Z is atomic number of the metal, X number of electrons lost during the formation of metal ion from its atom, like Fe, Fe2 plus, Fe3 plus. Y is the number of electrons donated by the ligand, total number of electrons. So this is example, FeCN6. FeCN6, the charge is -2. So Fe2, Z is 26. Why 26? FeCN6. So 26 minus 2, that plus 6 into 2, that comes out to be 30. That is the effective atomic number as calculated. Thank you for this session. Now I will take the second session or next session by taking the topic IUPAC nomenclature. Thank you.